When my 18th birthday finally came, I was so excited that I was finally now considered a legal adult. I could now vote and serve my country if I wanted to. I could also buy certain things that were looked down upon. That wasn't until 4 months later. When my 18th birthday finally came, I was so excited that I was finally now considered a legal adult. I could now vote and serve my country if I wanted to. I could also buy certain things that were looked down upon. That wasn't until 4 months later in May, just a week before my high school graduation. I wanted to buy myself a late birthday present and also a gift to myself for the fact that I was moving on to the next chapter of my life as an adult. What was that, you may ask? A pack of cigarettes. Now, I, along with the entire world, knew the consequences of taking up smoking. I've had anti-tobacco. Now, along with the entire world, knew the consequences of taking up smoking. I've had anti-tobacco education all throughout elementary and middle school that explained the horrors of what might happen if we ever decided to smoke. And it was very frightening to me at the time, but me being a curious and rebellious teenager, I decided that I would try it at least once for the experience, and I had promised myself I would not make it a habit. I had decided that I would wait until my mom went to sleep. I carefully and quietly snuck out the front door. Once I got to the gas station, I got extremely nervous, afraid that I'd sound and look foolish. I kindly asked for the pack I wanted, had my ID checked, and I gave the young clerk the cash. Finally, this was it, my first pack of cigarettes. I decided that I'd try one now, as I just couldn't wait. I took out a cigarette, and I lit it. The taste was very, very, very harsh, and bitter, and nasty. After taking a few puffs, I had finally decided to inhale. My lungs felt like they were collapsing, desperately trying to breathe as I coughed like no tomorrow. In the back of my head, I thought I was going to pass out and die as I literally could not breathe. I threw the cigarette on the ground and put it out immediately. Yet I still kept the pack with me. Weeks later, I tried again, and this time I succeeded at inhaling. I thought it was just going to be a casual habit of mine, but I was dead wrong. I kept on buying packs nonstop for the next year. I have made numerous attempts to try and quit, but I simply couldn't, and I was starting to run low on money, all on some rolled paper. If you are curious about smoking or are being peer pressured into it, simply don't do it. Nicotine is one of the hardest addictions to break, and the best way to break that addiction is to never start in the first place.
Two years ago, when I was 10 years old, I had the worst moment of my life. My mom and her friends were upstairs, and I was down there sleeping on the couch, but suddenly, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up with a bunch My mom and her friends were upstairs, and I was down there sleeping on the couch, but suddenly, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up with a bunch of flashlights in my face. I woke up, and the SWAT team was in my house. I was very confused and scared. Then I saw my mom in handcuffs and her friends being put in the police car. So I was able to talk to my mom a little bit, but later started crying. We both started crying. About an hour of the cops searching the house, locking my dog up in the bathroom, tearing up my room. Eventually got to the point where they found drugs. I don't know what kind, but they found drugs under my mom's bed. So the cops confirmed the search or whatever, and the last sight I seen my mom was being dragged away from me by the cops. I started staying at my grandpa and grandma's, and I went to my aunt's, and we moved 60 miles away from my hometown. And she was the most traumatizing, saddest, scariest moments in my life.
One of the first things I saw when I was born was my dog Leo. He was a golden retriever and he had long hair and all saggy. He was really adorable. And from the first moment I really ever saw him in my life, I was just connected to him. We did everything together. We played catch, we rolled in mud, we'd make forts and sit in them all day and watch movies together, and we'd go camping with my dad. He was always with me and followed me everywhere I went. When Leo got older, he started getting sick and tired, and we couldn't play the way we used to anymore. And that made me really upset, but I still loved him like I always had. One day, my mom randomly let me stay home from school, and I just decided that, I'd be with him. We played ball, we played King Leo, we did all the things that I used to do with him, and I just had a smile on my face when I was going to bed. And I was really happy and thinking of tomorrow to play with him. In the middle of the night, my mom woke me up. She had tears, and she told me that Leo was dying in a vet. And I was panicking. I was running around the room in circles. I asked if I could go say goodbye to him, basically, but he was really far away, and my dad brought him. So when my dad finally got back, he broke the news. Leo was dead. And I was just really, really upset. I stopped crying for 2 minutes and then hysterically start crying again. When I finally started falling asleep, I kept glancing at the spot he usually slept at, and he just wasn't there.